Hello. So we are here talking about why are you attracting the wrong men, and let's change up your energy. If you don't know me, I'm Naomi Thompson. I go live every Wednesday. This is the Wednesday Love Stream. So if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe and click the bell notification so you get notified every time I go live. So my laptop didn't quite work. The camera wouldn't work. So here I am on my phone. So if the phone falls over, let's just roll with it. Life's not perfect. So why are you attracting the wrong men? Let's change up your energy. If you have any questions, this is a live stream, as you can tell, because it's all a little bit imperfect. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat, in the comments section, and I will get to your questions. I'm going to talk about this topic. I'm going to give you lots of information, and then I will get to your questions and any questions that have been sent to me in advance. If you are watching, please let me know. Just drop a heart or a quick hi so I know you're here. So why are you attracting the wrong man? So we can spend a lifetime in relationships where we feel like there's something missing. We can spend a lifetime in relationships that are just not, where we just don't quite feel loved the way we really want to feel loved, where we don't feel cherished, where we don't feel heard, where we don't feel actually really known. And so much of that can come from when we were children, our primary caregivers, our experiences, our early experience of dating and relationships. And I'm going to keep these on. And, what I would say is if you are attracting the wrong men again and again and again, it may well be that your energy and your behaviors are not aligned with what you truly want. So if you have a think about a woman in your life, she's an amazing woman. She's deep, she's wise, she's incredible, and she's still single. And you think, how has that happened? How is she still single? Or a woman who you're like, this woman's amazing. Why is she with him? And I don't just mean like she's really good looking and I don't believe he's good looking. I don't mean that at all. I'm not talking about surface level things. There is an amazing woman, she really wants commitment. She really wants cherishing. She deserves to be adored and to have everything that comes with that. However, she still seems to be going for the same relationships again and again and again. Now, that may be you, or that may be somebody else in your life. Now, I cannot see people viewing here because I'm watching this on my phone. So if you are here, just pop a comment and I will see those comments. So if your energy and behaviors are not aligned with what you truly want, that will look like you say you want a committed relationship, but you are pursuing guys and pursuing relationships and staying in relationships with men who aren't committing. That you keep saying again and again, I really want to feel really loved. I really want the kind of romance that other women get. But you're still not getting it from him, and you're still getting disappointed that he's not giving it, and you still feel sad and you still feel crappy, but you're still there. So your energy and your behavior, so your behavior is you're staying in that relationship or you're pursuing guys who are not willing to give you the relationship you want. And your energy is going towards talking about him, complaining about him, looking out there in the world for there being somebody at fault for why, or all these perfectly good reasons why you're still single. Whereas actually, what you truly want is a committed, loving relationship. So when you're at this juncture, your energy and behaviors, your patterns of behaving are actually not bringing you what it is you really want, then you have like a misalignment going on. So I think the whole idea here is now to change your energy is like to go back to school. So actually to go back to school and start, get out your paper, get out your pen and say to me, ask yourself, what is important? Like, what is important to me? If I could wave a magic wand, like my darling, you now, if you could wave a magic wand and you had exactly the relationship you wanted, everything you wanted, what would it be like? If your man, and if you've got a man in your life now, you can just see him. If your man was showing up as your perfect man, and I'm not talking about looks, and I'm not talking about height, and I'm not talking about financial status. Yes, you could have a man who's generous and you feel really cherished by him and you feel really special and protected and taken care of. Yeah. But what is really important to you? Now, I'll share some personal ones for me. What was on my list of non-negotiables is that my man is affectionate. When I was dating, I knew I had to be with an affectionate man. Affection makes me feel like, calms my nervous system, makes me feel just loved and like seen and like almost like I exist in their world if I'm touched. I knew I needed a man who was verbally affectionate because for some reason, my energy and my behaviors always went for men who just couldn't give me verbal affection. They just couldn't tell me they loved me. I did that from the age of 16. So something had to change for me, and I knew what was important to me. And I really want you right now to ask yourself, what is important to me? Even if I've never had it, what is important to you? Then look at the last few dates you had. Look at the last few relationships you had. What attracted you to these guys? What attracted you to them? What drew you in? What was it that you found really attractive about them to start with? You know, what was it that they all had in common? Like, how did they all seem to show up in the beginning? If you found that you were attracting guys who could not give you the kind of cherishing and love and relationship you really wanted, did they show up really romantic in the beginning? This man who just seemed to never tell you he loves you for the last 2 years, when you started dating, did he tell you, oh, I just think you're wonderful and I'm so lucky? Did he give you verbal affection? Was he charismatic? Was he exciting? Did he make your sort of like your heart pound and get all the chemistry flowing? What was it about these men who disappointed you that attracted you to them in the first place? So asking yourself all of these questions is going to raise your awareness. When you want to change patterns, you need to raise your awareness of your own energy, your own patterns. And this isn't about laying blame. This isn't about saying, oh, it's all your fault if this has gone wrong. This isn't about that at all. What this is about doing is saying, there is something I'm doing that is attracting and choosing the same kind of men. I'm going to take these off, they're getting a bit reflecty. That's attracting the same kind of men again and again. And ask yourself, what makes me tolerate less than I really want? You know, what behavior was modeled for me? Often, if we've had a relationship where our mother expected less from relationships, there's a balance to take. We can sometimes expect too much from relationships. Sometimes we can expect more than a person than another human being is willing to give, one human being. That's why it's important to have friends and family and all sorts of different relationships, because our partner cannot be everything. But there are certain fundamentals that you can absolutely expect from a committed relationship. Care, to feel loved, to feel seen, someone who is willing to talk through the difficult things. Thank you for your question here. My exes were all very weak and wanted me to emotionally support them, but they wouldn't do the same for me. Yes. Do you know what happens when we do that? There is a certain level of emotional vulnerability that comes with letting someone know we need them, to opening ourselves up to being emotionally supported. And when we choose men or partners who need a lot of emotional support from us, often then what we're doing is making sure that we're not too vulnerable. So again, and you'll hear me say it every week, that again is all about a fear of intimacy. If we have a fear of intimacy, if we are afraid of being vulnerable, of being open, isn't it easier then to choose a partner who needs loads from you? Then you don't have to open up and be vulnerable. When you're busy giving and giving and giving to other people, you are diverting the attention away from your vulnerability to have a really, really loving relationship, to have a deep, connected, great relationship. You got to learn how to be vulnerable. You got to really raise your self-awareness. So if you've only just joined, watch the replay of this, because I got you to ask yourself some really specific questions. If you are attracting the same kind of relationships again and again, Zubair says, your accent makes me feel smart. Well, that's, I don't quite know what to say to that, but I'm going to take it as a compliment, because I'll generally see the best in anything. So this, getting clear on what you really want is the next step. Yes, okay, I hear you. You never thought of that. It was so exhausting. Yes, it was exhausting being there for other people. Yes, but there is always a payoff. And this is a great way to see it. There is always a payoff in when we do things that actually give us pain and upset. That may seem ridiculous. Why would we enjoy that? But actually, on a deep level, there is a payoff. You might not enjoy not being seen and not being cherished and someone not caring about you. But what the payoff is, it makes you avoid taking responsibility for getting your needs met. It makes you avoid being vulnerable. So yeah, there's a payoff. You get something out of it. So the next thing is getting clear on what you really want. So we spoke about write down what's important. Get clear what you really, really, really want in a relationship, and learn how to be in your feminine energy. I won't go into that big time now. However, I've spoken about this in a lot of videos. Being in your feminine energy leaves you open to opening your heart and receiving from people that you may not have thought of as your type. So if you have had a lifetime of the wrong relationships, it will be powerful for you to take on the idea that you don't know your type, that you don't know who could be the right person for you. And actually, being in your feminine energy is surrendered. It's about being in the moment. It's about feeling, it's receiving, it's coming into your body and your intuition rather than up into your head and your thoughts. And being in your feminine energy is going to help you receive care, affection, and attention from people who you may have just dismissed before. So learning how to attract a different kind of relationship definitely takes some inner work. So if you have any questions, then please do pop them in the chat. And until I see your questions, I am going to just answer a question that got emailed to me. So she says, I'm dating and I've had first dates recently where the guy disappeared or the connection didn't feel right to me. So she's on the dating apps, but she says, how long would you chat with a guy on a dating app before blocking him if he's not asking you out? And in what possible time frames does a healthy man ask you out? Okay. I would say don't chat, don't message, just message back and forth for too long. Messaging back and forth is going to leave you in like the imaginary zone. It's so easy to take all the things we really want from a relationship, all our dreams of everything we want. And it's very easy. It's very easy to take all of that and sort of overlay it on a person that we're messaging. It's like we are saying, we start making them up. You really want to get an idea of what that person is like in real life, on a phone call, on a video call, on a date. So what I'd say is as the feminine, be an invitation. You know, invite a man to ask you for a phone call. What I did with my partner, we were driving along the other day and he said, what I really liked about you, Naomi, is that you were really keen to have a phone call quite early on. He said, because I just would never know how to gauge it. And people seem to want a message for ages. But what I did is I just let him know how these messages, how going back and forth made me feel. How doing all this texting made me feel, and actually how I felt about video calls. And I just said to him, I feel really comfortable having video calls. What are your thoughts? So again, yes, I'm bringing up the subject, and that's absolutely fine to do that, but I'm letting him know how that makes me feel, and I am letting him know that I'm really comfortable with them, and I'm asking him his thoughts. So I would say a couple of days. And if a guy is not willing to have a video call, then I would say, don't meet him. Just don't meet him. You know, just that is the time that I would block and delete. Next question. I think you're right about the fear of intimacy. How do you open up if you are scared of intimacy? Firefly, you do that bit by bit by bit, in baby steps. But it involves taking action. You can listen to all the YouTube videos in the world. You can read all the books in the world. You can passively listen to things. However, this is about taking aligned action. An aligned action is taking action that aligns with moving you towards what you really want. So if you really want a committed relationship, then doing exactly what I said in the beginning of this video, listening to yourself and asking yourself the questions. Who are the guys I've always gone for before? What was it attracted me to them? How was it I felt with them? How did I feel disappointed by them over time? What were the commonalities? What did I keep asking for again and again that I never got? What did I complain about either outwardly or inwardly? What did I believe about myself when I was with them? These are all ways you can coach yourself. Yes, many people come to coaches like me, and that's a possibility. I do one-to-one coaching. However, you can coach yourself also, depending on how much personal development you've done and how much work you're willing to put in. So personal development, your life gets easier the more self-aware you are. Relationships get easier. Dating gets easier. Yeah, so I hope that has really helped. Let me know if you have any more questions. And I have linked my free audio training in the description below, and also there's a discount code. I've put a discount code for my program, Have the Deep Connected Love You Dream Of. It's only £27, and this reduces it to £17. If you really want to start learning the basics and the foundations, this is such a great program to get. It's the first program I made, and it has got so much information packed into it. You can listen to it again and again and again and get more and more and more. So I wanted to give you all a discount code. You will see that in the description below, and if it happens not to be there yet, I'll put it in, but I think it is in there. Please send me your questions. If you have any questions for the next week's live stream, I will see you next week on the Wednesday Love Stream. Send me your questions, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, and do get my free audio training. Again, there, 100% free. It gives you so much information. What I first learned when I was, learning all of this work. So, my darling, it will help you so much. Loads of love to you all, and I will be back on my computer next time, not my wobbly phone. Loads of love.